Hello, you guys. How are you guys? I'm outside and my neighbor's mowing, so if it's too loud, I'll go inside. It's just the air is so cold in there downstairs. So, yeah. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Smiley Stories World. Hey, you don't know me. Woofy. Hey, Sonia, Lena, Connie, Punksy, Cool Gamer, Rebecca, Nikki Rex, Guiding Life with TLC. How are you guys? What are you guys up to today? Don't even hear it. Awesome. Yeah, it's too freaking cold in there. They freeze me. They have the air on and I have a little like heater that plugs into the wall that I keep like by my little bed or wherever I'm sleeping in there. Um, the lawnmower will get closer and further away. But anyways, so I wanted to do this last night. Hey, Shuby Mom. I wanted to do a stream where we kind of review and give commentary and just talk about Chris McDonough's newest video. I have not watched it, but when Pink Dahlia was on the other night, she said he really called him out about several things, and it was really very good. So I thought that it would be really interesting for us to do that. Oh, getting ready for Tennessee. Yep, it's almost the 15th. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the trip, like, and everything that you guys do down there, the vigils and all that. But anyway, so I thought we could go over some of that, just hang out for a little bit. And then tonight I have a live with Positively Parker, like just a creator interview. Basically, we'll talk about maybe some different cases and also her personally and stuff. So yeah, working in the yard, my favorite task. I hear ya. Hey, C-Wise. So have you guys, I'm sure most of you guys probably already watched this. I'm the only one who hasn't watched it. Oh, thank you, Wuffy. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think it'll be fun. But my mom is wanting to do something with me and the kids today. So after this live, I've got to hurry and get ready, and then I don't know, go do something with her for a little bit, and then that will be tonight. Yes, he has Manny with the scent dogs back tomorrow. Ooh, okay, interesting. Let me pull it up. I've already got it pulled up here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was so tired. I could not wake up this morning. Last night I fell asleep at my computer. I was working on something else, something that is more behind, like offline, but also true crime related. And I'm just tired. I cannot get woke up this morning. I'm struggling majorly, but I do have a monster salted caramel. I love the Java monsters. They're so good. So yeah, share, tab. I can't believe it's been a year, you guys. Cannot believe it's been almost a year, damn near. Woofy. Hey, Donna. Just real quick, let me see if I have any overlays about it. Oh, I love being with you guys too. Okay. Hope my internet's okay. That's the one thing I love being in. I'd rather be in the Carolinas than West Virginia these days. It's just the place for me. My mom's here, so I think that's a huge factor. Plus, I just like the weather, like being by the water. Me and the kids go out on the water pretty much every day that we're here. Um, yeah, and I totally lost my train of thought. So there you go, a half of a sentence. I'm sorry, you guys. Well, my second bang as I went to sleep talking to Eve, my selfie light started coming on and off on my studio. I have it all on video. Oh my God, that is funny. I love the bang drinks too. They don't have any I know what you mean. If you know, you know. um, I love the bang drinks. They don't have any sugar in them. So, like the Monster is a big drink though. It's 15 ounces and has 26 grams of sugar. A Red Bull, like an 8 ounce or 12-ounce Red Bull, the smaller, not the very smallest, but this a kind of smaller one, they have the same amount of sugar and a lot less drink, if that makes sense. But the bangs, I love those. I love the cotton candy, the wedding cake, the crisp candy apple, the sour head one. I know. I thought it would be good too. I tried it and I was like, oh God. Yeah, I call it my squirrel. That's too funny. A year in and no arrest, zero credible leads, and a whole lot of liars and grifters. I know. You're absolutely right. With pranks mixed in. And yeah, it's just a mess. Oh, okay. You're diabetic. So then the bangs, they have no sugar. Alex with the Red Bulls. You guys, though, okay, I'm about to start the video, but the last thing I want to say is about like nonsense. The strawberry, they have these new Red Bulls. They're strawberry apricot. Oh my God, they taste so good. That's the one thing. They are really, 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 really good. I'm on Dragon, sugar free, cheaper version of Monster. I hear you. I've found like alternatives that were cheaper, but it's like you can only find them at certain stores. And by Mom's house, we have like not much very close. The strawberry apricot, yes, it is so good. You don't know. Let's hope they do have credible leads. Yeah, that's true. We don't know what they have. I mean, we do know this is what the thing. The police have came out and said that they haven't gotten very much further than when the day she went missing. So we know that they don't have a ton, but also police can lie to us. They can make things. I believe Ronnie Lawson coming out and saying that the parents weren't cooperating and had attorneys. I think all of that could possibly be part of what they're doing to try to get the guilty person, arrested. It could be part of the plan to lead to an arrest. So I don't know. I really don't know. They're allowed to lie to you, and they will. If they would want Candace and Dawn to feel more confident, more comfortable. If they thought that it was them. I don't know, you guys. It's hard because Candace and Dawn have lied so much and been so sketchy. Dawn has said some of the most bizarre things, including the alibi statement, and then also including his little call to Ernie, where he goes into all the details about what's happened to Summer and all of that. When he talks about how Summer would look right now, I mean, certain things he says, you're just like, what the hell? Like, and this comes from her dad. So, but then we have Candace, all of her pranks and bullshit and the uh the relationship with Hunter and all of that, and that's sketchy as hell and weird. And the fact that whole day is weird. Be what they did at the park that day is weird. Where they chose to go was bizarre to me. It's all of it. And then you have all of that nonsense. Then you have Hunter, his story that doesn't match Candace's, Allie's story that doesn't match Hunter or Candace's. Then you have Jose that comes in and brings a whole nother thing, and his phone's in the ocean for some damn reason, and now he's gone, passed away. And it's like, then you have Tim Mullen who inserted himself. I don't know, you guys. Then we have even this guy that made the wreaths that I told you about, like that video. I think it's called A New Suspect on My List. The man that was, you know, inserting himself like Tim Mullen did down there making wreaths for summer and stuff. And he also drives a little red pickup. So I don't know. I think that's what makes it like where we can't stop, and everybody has such an interest in it because it's just it's so chaotic. There's too many people, which is clouding things. Yeah, it's reality. Hey, sending you good karma. I think Dawn is a loon. Candace is a severely mentally delayed, broken person. Remy, I agree. Slash Jag. God, I've got to get that clip because I need to watch that sometime. I know those calls. Oh my God. Lawson certainly rattled their. Yep, they all wackadoo. Think about Orrin and Orson West. Yep. Cops can lie. Why hasn't the FBI been brought in yet? I don't know. And they haven't been. I mean, they may have helped with, like when she first went missing, maybe they helped with search efforts or something like that. I'm not sure because there's been talk of them, but I do know that her case isn't on their website. And Donna spoke about that too because she wanted to put in like a tip and on the website. Oh, we missed you, Nikki Rex. I hope you're doing okay. I buy Bang by the case cheaper at Walmart, otherwise Amazon. Believe they kept it quiet for stumbles on the timeline. And we know the timeline isn't correct either. I mean, ooh, I want to know how to make them at home. Candace, she's told many different stories. We have many different versions of events of where Summer actually was last seen, the very last time she was seen, whether it was inside, outside, on the road, going down the road, going out the door. I mean, ugh. But also we know from that video that Molly put out of her phone call with Dawn, the police had a problem with Candace's timeline. It's not just like YouTube or us. The police, Dawn said the police, wanted, they had questions. They said the timeline wasn't adding up. He wanted to help Candace, even though he wasn't with her, help Candace correct that. And I say that lightly, even though he wasn't with her. He wants to help Candace correct that. And then they remember that Candace did laundry and made lunch. None of that even fits in. I don't believe that for a second. Back to step one, then get the timeline because it's likely a mashup of everyone's story, but get the main timeline and then branch off. I have like the most detailed timeline. Yeah, no one wore a watch. No one looked at their phone. I have the very most detailed timeline, you guys, that LFT and Tia did, the Decipher podcast. And yeah, I'll have to go looking through all that stuff again. But yeah, okay, let me take this fair use off and we can start this. I wish we had a clip of Slash Jag to start it off, but I'm gonna find that daggone it and upload it here. Hey, Dolly UK. Hey, Amber. Well, I can't hear that at all. What the heck? Well, hold on a second, you guys. Sorry about that. I had it already pulled up, but I don't know. I didn't hear anything. So let's do it again. Okay, now I can hear it. I better share screen again. Whew. It's already getting hot, y'all. Oh my God, this week it's going to be like 99 degrees 2 days this week. Oh my gosh, it gets to where you cannot even go outside. But the one thing that's good about where mom lives, that water brings in some wind, so it kind of cools you off a little bit. But hey, Roxanne. Candace took meds. Were they at specific times? It's just all jumbled up. Those boys know something. That's what bothers me. Well, the other day we were watching about Jody Sue, me and Pink Dahlia actually. We were just like randomly going through different videos, and there was a video where she talks about the boys' demeanor when she met them down at the creek. And she said they wouldn't even look at her in the face. They were very like just like looking down, like they didn't want to talk to her. So that's really interesting to me. And then we have, if that is accurate, sheet of the things that were taken from the home, and a lot of those things were like a size 10, 12 in little boys, clothing and stuff. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Don't you love it? Sophia, who's our team lead, there was a reluctance in relationship to embracing that technology. But and law enforcement investigations. Is social media playing a role in relationship to helping and or hurting law enforcement investigations?
Well, yeah, they are. That's for sure. They're helping and hurting.
Was looked at again by the law enforcement authorities and ultimately and subsequently solved.
Let me check on you guys because I can't see you. Whew, there's a fly that keeps flying around me. Let me light this citronella candle. Yeah, social media is helping cases. It's helping solve cases every day, and it's hurting cases every day. Hey, Lori. How can those boys not know something? Another thing, the terrain is steep downhill and uphill in many parts of the property, right? Doesn't mean a kid walked up or down, rolled down, crawled up. That is what I said, Remy. Okay, so when you say that Summer couldn't have made it down those hills, I mean that as in on her feet walking. She could have tried and fell and rolled down or something like that. I think even walking the driveway she would have fell because it is so steep and so like the bumps in it, it just looks like it will roll your ankle. So it's possible that she could have came off that hill falling, but then I thought, wouldn't there be signs of that? I don't know. I can't see her, if she came off the back side of their hill, and it's a huge portion of their property, and it comes down to a creek. She couldn't have come down that, crossed the creek, and then come back up the other side and just kept going. If she would have tried to attempted to come down that, surely she could have got to the bottom, but I think that she probably would be hurt there and easily found. So I don't know. Let's see.
So my comment was, if law enforcement embraces it and it's done correctly, then social media can be a very powerful tool.
Absolutely.
And, some call it crowdsourcing. But sometimes it's necessary to run parallel. And, that's what the Cold Case Foundation does.
Oh, awesome, Remy.
Cold Case Foundation supports law enforcement victims and their families when we're asked to engage.
So that is his organization. It's a nonprofit run by Chris McDonough, the Cold Case Foundation. I don't know much about it though, other than that.
As we've all noticed, and by the way, we're going to have this. You know how I am.
I'm really excited because Pink says he doesn't go off. Oh, daggone it, they're weed eating right here. I'll mute because they won't be here for long.
I'll try to get to
Hold
your
on.
questions. And if I see, something come up, our new members, et cetera, I will tag it and then we'll kind of play it towards
Okay,
the end,
I stopped.
if that's okay with you, because I like to have a free. So, as we've all noticed over the last couple of weeks, if not 2 or 3 weeks now,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
Candace has pretty much gone underground.
Yes.
My understanding, after doing a little homework, is there's been some people that have intervened in her life that have told her basically, you know, just chill for a little while.
Hmm.
Um,
Wait, I want to pause there. That's really interesting, you guys. Here comes that damn weed eater. But people have intervened in her life and told her to chill. But you know what? That's a good thing. Um, she needed to get off of YouTube. She was not using it in the way that would be helpful to Summer anyways. And it was just creating chaos every single day. You know, she was something else was said or done that, and it was just it wasn't helpful. Then also, you know, you're not going to find a oh I don't know. It really bothered me seeing on Summer's 9 months missing. Candace was on Summer's missing page shouting out to YouTubers that she, had a crush on or whatever, and barely said one sentence about Summer. And I mean, we saw everybody can say what they want about Jose, but if you didn't watch his interview and felt like you knew Summer a little bit more than you had from any of the other ones, you know what I mean? That's how I felt, anyways. I know that weed eater will be gone in a second. Losers.
I know that she had gone to, at some point, uh, another state to visit some of Don's friends potentially. And I don't know, a lot of her phones have been disconnected except for one number. Um,
To visit some of Dawn's friends? That's interesting.
and I don't know what the whole purpose of that is, getting close to the anniversary, but it could be because of the emotional grief, and or um, the desire to want to say more, but somehow has found herself stuck in a corner.
Hmm. Emotional grief or the desire to want to say more that see because the reason that I think it's important the way he's wording things, because I think, he's a law enforcement officer. They're always very careful with their words they choose. But also, do you guys believe that it's possible that he may know a little bit more than what we know? He's certainly led on in the past that he's got, communication with the police down there, stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised. Um, Maybe she's in rehab and that's what's being told to people. That would be incredible. That would make me so happy.
I want to be clear and on the record from the very beginning, the first reason I put out the very first video this week was I have treated that family, believe it or not, in relationship to my observations, with utmost respect, and I will continue to do so. Now, they've not liked me for it,
I agree. Yes.
because they felt that there was other motives and or reasons.
I felt like he was respectful to them. Now, I whenever Dawn kind of came out against him, I was shocked. I actually have a video on my channel, because Dawn, when he first started, like they had all done the interviews, and then Dawn came out on his Facebook just completely going off on Chris. And I think this is because Chris did a live and he was not shy about his how he felt about Dawn
However,
in that live.
if Candace is willing to come discuss with me
Interesting, Sonia.
what happened that day. I
Yes,
can assure
Jamie.
you
Yep, it is new.
that I will maintain not only a spirit of professionalism, but one of experience.
So basically, I think he's trying to reach out to Candace, and so and I was told that he's hard on her with certain things, but he's also kind of like extending a hand to help, to try to offer her help if she wants to talk. If he seems like he thinks that she knows more, or I don't know. I guess we'll watch and see. That's what Pink Dahlia said on here the other night, though. So yeah.
To the table. When we talk about the court system in relationship to the children, and now we have Detective Pruitt over there in Hawkins County who has been tasked with resolving this case. When he comes
Yeah.
out and says that he wished he had more information coming in, then I think it's our responsibility as citizens to provide him with viable leads and viable information. Because we know when those leads start slowing down, he then has to settle back into his case file and his caseload.
But the problem with that can be, I think that there's a fine line, even with the wells and the mine shafts. I wanted to call the police and just like double check that they kind of had already checked there, and just like, but also I felt like I didn't, because I don't want to bother them, and I don't think that we should be calling in tips and hints and stuff unless you know for sure that it is valid. And I just think that it can get sticky with people on social media calling in tips about a case that they're watching online, and that's, I don't know. I haven't watched it, Amber. This is my first time watching it.
I have not seen the sheriff's department and or anybody else move towards a team approach on the second wave of this investigation. So maybe that's a good sign. Because if in fact he is just refocusing, on his other caseload, then maybe there's other people doing. I'm just trying to get Buddy in the shot.
Oh, how cute!
Love that little
and
guy
his
back
little
there.
his YouTube plaque.
Maybe he's focusing on other caseload that others then can now refocus on. Some we're going to run through the list here, and then we're going to circle back.
Okay.
And
let's do it.
I have felt from the day
let's do it
at that watering hole.
Me too, Remy. Hey, Mark.
That Candace,
I appreciate and respect him as a law enforcement officer. I appreciate he devoted his life into saving kids in these situations and saving people regardless. I really do have a lot of respect for anybody who does that. Because I know just from being a true crime fan, and then, having a YouTube channel, kind of looking into it myself, I know how much it stays with you. I know how you don't ever shut this stuff off. You don't. And I can't imagine when you're really seeing things up close like a police officer, you're at those crime scenes, because you turn it off and you go on to do something with your family. And every few minutes, you're still thinking about it. You're still picturing it. You still hear, like that video of Summer. There's two videos that stick with me so much. And that's the one they're like having a fire, and you don't hear her or see her. You only hear her. She's like a baby and she's cooing. And then the other video where she's on that swing and she's laughing like that. And that just, like, if stuff like that doesn't stick with you. So, yeah. Anyways, I have a lot of respect for him. However, I have seen some things that I've had constructive criticism for, and I've done videos about that in the past when I feel like that it could possibly be harmful to the case and the situation, like with the Gabby Petito stuff and Brian Laundrie being on Twitter. It was, now we know it was not him at all, we know for sure. But with all that stuff, so yeah, I mean, he's human, he's human, so
Wants to tell us what took place. I have felt that my experience told me
for
while
sure,
standing
Amber.
there with her that she was very, very, very close to saying something.
Okay.
And
Does he
I
show
don't know what
that?
that something was because it was interrupted.
Does he show that, or should we pull it up? Because I know where he's talking about. You guys that have watched it, uh, he's talking about that video clip where she's down by the water with him.
But you can clearly see, and the reason I put that video out, you can clearly see the emotion, the clarity, and the sincerity for that piece of that conversation, not the whole conversation. There was a lot of soggy bread being sold in that conversation.
He has given out false info. Do you not? I don't, not necessarily in this case, but during the Brian Laundrie case, remember he said that that was Brian on Twitter, and he knew for sure it was him. He came out and said that on his channel, and this was actually another person that's not related at all, and they received quite a lot of harassment and stuff from that. This man has a huge platform, and I don't. Like I said, I offered constructive criticism with that. I don't think it's like something that he should be canceled over. I think he's new-ish to YouTube, maybe didn't realize the power of his platform. Having 100,000 people subscribed, when you put out something saying, "Oh, this person is for sure," this person, a lot of people are going to take his word for 100% fact, and then that causes issues for the person that he claimed was Brian Laundrie. Um, so,
As well, because she was trying to fill in the gaps.
oh,
Now,
okay. Yeah, Amber. I
as a
see what you're
result of
saying.
that, while standing there, emotional breakdown was so sincere in my opinion, and
Hmm.
when it was so sincere that I really felt that at that very moment she was going to say, "I here's what happened." So I have stuck on that
Wow.
for quite some time, and
I
I
don't
want to
know.
show it to you here.
Oh,
Real
I'm so glad he's showing it, because I didn't feel that from that. I will say the interview with Candace changed my opinion of Candace, but I agree. I think he's done some awesome interviews. I think that he didn't talk down at them, look his nose down, and I believe the stuff with Brian, he probably was given bad information and didn't realize the power of his platform, and hopefully that's and learned.
real fast. I'm not going to bore you with the entirety of it, but I want you to see what I was seeing. And as you can tell, I'm probably maybe 3 feet from her. And if I would have had another 10, 15 minutes of privacy with her, then I personally believe that she would have shared with the world what is going on in this particular case in totality, right from mother's mouth. Watch this. People lie.
To law enforcement, to everybody. It makes me so mad that it just makes my blood boil.
Right. So she disappears.
I don't know what else to say.
What are the possibilities in your mind? I know what your heart's saying. Your heart's saying she's with somebody right now.
Yeah, I was muted.
How would we know how to connect that dot? You and me.
Well, like, for instance, that Dobbs guy that was supposed to be camping across at my neighbor's house.
Right.
He was there that same time. And then Tony Hammonds, whoever the hell he is, he was down through there.
Who was there when you got home?
There was nobody there. There was my mom mentioned the blue van across at my neighbor's house, but I just figured she had company.
Okay.
I didn't know about that.
So this interview did make Candace appear more like human. However, I do want to just say there, right before he plays, like the very sentence she says right before this clip starts, he says, "How can people just stand there and lie? I don't understand it." Like, and I believe that was in reference to Hunter and Summer having the accident in the water, and maybe even possibly Allie, and yeah. So I don't know though. See, for me, I feel like Candace is way better at manipulation and is way more street smart and than people give her credit. And I go back and forth, but with all the lies that she's told, I just I don't know.
That was a guy that was trying to move in there. I didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
And so I didn't think nothing. I just figured it was neighbors. I had visitors.
Okay.
You know, I didn't think nothing about that. I gotta stop.
Okay, so this is the moment where she realized that she had lied a couple times in that particular sentence, that sentencing, in my opinion.
Ooh. He used to do Saturday morning commercials after cartoons played with safety tips for kids and parents in the 90s. Well, I can tell you what, he's got more experience than about 90% of other YouTubers that are talking about the case. You know what I mean? But also, I can see the side of people who have criticism of him, because he also has quite a record of, you know, his there's just stuff that's not relevant to this, but I can see why that people, you know, I can see both sides of it. But I really think that his opinion is really valuable. He knows a lot more about, especially police procedure and that kind of stuff, than any of us. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's Warriors Path State Park. Warriors Path State Park. I actually have, oh no, I think I have a video where we kind of go through it all, like a live stream. And I have a short video on membership page of like about some other stuff in the park. When was this alert? Hey, you're not bothering Jamie. We just started like 30 minutes ago, and 40 minutes ago, actually. Now, I love him, but I never thought she was about to spill the beans at that moment. Happy weekend, JC. Okay, so Jody Sue and Son. I know some people are really suspicious. I am not. I don't think that. I did a video on it about the peeping incident and all of that. I think him being up there months later has nothing to do with Summer. Him being caught, you know, maybe he was curious. He's a teenager. Also, maybe he was just hanging out in the woods being a kid. Or maybe he wanted to know about the freaking circus on the top of the hill and was like looking. So I don't know. have a lot of suspicion with them. And I also think it'd be super hard and way more easy to catch not only Jody Sue, like super hard for them all to lie, her and her two kids, and easy for us to spot the lie if they all three were trying to follow this story. Similar to in the way that people say that Grandma, Candace, and Dawn are all following along this script. Let's see.
One, she threw out a couple of names, which, in my opinion, came from Dawn. The Tony Hammonds guy. He didn't know
Hey,
about
Luana.
Dobbs coming because she says, I didn't see it. Basically, you just heard it a minute
Happy
ago
Pride Month.
when she
Hey,
was
Lana.
pulling up. And her mother added the van in the conversation. So in this particular moment, what she is doing, I'm watching her very carefully, and I've been going over this for 11 or whenever it was, 10, 11 months now, and I keep coming back to this moment. And in this,
wasn't it right before this moment she says like everything is slow motion? Doesn't she make a comment about that as they're like walking up towards the water?
moment
It's been a while
is
since I've seen
when
the full
she
thing.
is thinking about whether or not she's going to tell me. Because this is that, as we used to call it, going for the snot, where whenever somebody who has a guilty conscience is about ready to lay it all out, then what we do, you pay close attention to not only the body language, but listening to the verbiage in relationship to how she's presenting it. So you're going to see me kind of step into her for a second, because what I want to do is take up a little bit of space. Ooh. And we're only going to go there for a couple.
See, now that's what I find him really interesting for. He is paying attention to her personal space, stepping into it just to make her feel a little bit less comfortable. You know what I mean? And more, I don't know. I think it's interesting to hear. At least that's how I took that. By the way, can one of you guys please drop my membership link? Oh, Kitty, what is that? Cat the boo boo. Because I was going to, and I've already done one video and a couple pictures, but I have some interviews with some of the locals, and they don't really add to where is summer. But so I would feel, because I don't, if it's something, I never put it behind my membership, behind a paywall. But these are just like little extras from when we were down there. And yeah, so if you want to see the little interviews and stuff, definitely the membership. I think the cheapest one is only $1.99, and I put them out for everybody. So yeah.
Another minute or two, and we're going to keep talking. Okay. Because I've beaten
Punksy.
this thing in the past, but I think it's important with June 15th coming up.
I know, me either. It's crazy.
So she now is thinking, I have to stop, because she knows that she's on a roller coaster here, and she's realizing she's climbing a hill, to use an analogy. But she's about ready to put her hands up and go when all of a sudden there was some interruption. And she realizes she's got her hands up going down the hill. And so I personally believe, and Candace, if you're listening tonight, I would like to talk to you again. Because
see, he's making this public plea. Oh, thank you. Welcome, baby. Thank you. I grabbed it before I asked. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Alexandra. That's not me, right? That's my name, but I know you wouldn't say that to her about me. That caught me off guard when I saw Alexandra. Okay.
Because I can help you in relationship to understanding what's going on here in the big picture. And so watch her for a second. And by the way, I personally believe she's being sincere in this particular part. 100%. In fact, Don called me afterwards, later, and he read me the riot act. And
Wait, how long
that's
after?
afterwards, later, here, in this particular part. 100%. In fact, Don called me afterwards, later, and he read me the riot act.
Oh, thank you, Gladys.
And that's because I think there's some other things going on, and we're going to touch on that tonight as well.
Thank you, Gladys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. She's been blocked for a while, probably why she's so mad still. She said she better stop. I think the blue van. Hey, Melissa. Thank you for dropping that. He said right after. Okay, let's keep listening. Yeah, I really do appreciate that, Gladys. And I'm glad you made it
But
to a live
watch
too.
this particular exchange.
Tonight I'm interviewing Parker. I'm really excited for that, you guys. Yeah, because I've been loving her channel. She has done like that shooting in Uvalde, like she has done more than I've seen any other. To be a new creator, I just got to give her so much props for that. I've cried over there so many times over that shooting, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm excited for that.
I can't do no more. It's fine.
And where did we see this exchange again? Think about that. We saw this exact exchange without the verbiage, I feel like I'm being interrogated. But we see the exact exchange on the Dr. Phil show.
Hey, Vicky.
Where she realizes things were getting close, and her mechanism of safety is to retreat. And that is one of the reasons why I believe she's gone underground right now.
Whoa, that's a big statement. Because on Dr. Phil, they start asking questions she gets uncomfortable with. She turns blood red. Then she leaves. She walks off the stage. He's saying if you get too close, she runs away. And he thinks that's why she's hiding right now, meaning that he thinks somebody has gotten close, which is interesting.
So, Candace, I'm asking you, if you're watching tonight, or I know some of your friends are, and I know who you've been hanging out with, I'm asking you to please step up for
Bobby Pin.
a moment, step out for a moment, and let's work through this together to find Summer and help about Summer. There's more to this. There's more to this story than is in the environment right now.
Yes, it was very bizarre.
And not only do you know it, but your mother knows it, and quite a few other people know it.
Parker loves the kids.
So here's the moment.
I gotta have a cigarette. Sorry.
No, go light it up.
I just don't.
Light it up, girl.
I don't like to breathe in another.
No. Go blow it. Go. I'm not gonna. Don't worry about me. You should see me drive. I'm a mess when I drive.
See how he gets on that level with her, though? He's like, oh, light it up, girl. It's all good. But she's wanting to smoke a cigarette alone, it seems like. Let me rewind just a little bit.
No. Go blow it. Go. The moment.
I gotta have a cigarette. Sorry.
No, go light it up.
I just don't.
Light it up, girl.
I don't like to breathe in another.
No. Go blow it. Go. I'm not gonna. Don't worry about me. You should see me drive. I'm a mess when I drive. You got a lot going on, Candace.
Amber.
I'm sorry that you're having all this problem. And no matter what we say, you or me, somebody's going to question it.
It doesn't matter what I say or do or try to prove to people. Somebody's always doing some stuff.
Right.
That's true. That's true in general on the internet. It doesn't matter what you say or do. You can have the best intentions in the world, try to do the right thing, and no matter what, things will get twisted. Somebody's going to have a problem, and I can't imagine being the mom of a missing child. And not only that, but you're not, because a lot of parents, like for instance, Michael Vaughn's mom, if you come out and talk about being suspicious of her, people come out the woodwork defending her. It's so taboo, so wrong of you to do. But in certain situations like this, when there's a lot of suspicion on the family, I could imagine you wouldn't want to say anything because it'll all be twisted. But then why do you get on YouTube and make a damn fool of yourself? Why do you get on YouTube and play these pranks and get on there all wasted? Put yourself in the position where you are asked your daughter's birthday or how old she is, and you don't even know. You don't know.
And for that one woman to go on there that works with Allie, she don't know me and my kids. She don't know what they do every day.
Hey, Dukes.
Most of my boys work here. They tell you.
Hey, Queen Bee.
Well, I've seen a lot of your pictures.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That speaks a lot. That says a lot. Nobody's perfect, though, right?
No, I'm not perfect.
I'm not perfect by any means, shape, or thought.
Never had to. Never meant to try to be perfect.
And me neither. I mean, you.
I am a person just like you.
Yep. That's right.
That's
right.
I'm different than anybody else.
We all.
You guys watching them stand at this water after being there is so weird. It is so weird.
Make mistakes. There's no question about that. No question about it.
See how they're standing there, though? Tell me why Summer, they didn't have, like, when Candace took that video, Summer wasn't swimming right there, like, right off the shore. They were hidden up in the side. Like, if you see the side that we can see, those trees, they were, like, up in the trees, but on the opposite side, behind us, behind them. And, yeah, it's weird.
I can't even enjoy life without my kids.
Pink Dahlia.
Help me understand what you mean by that.
Like how these guys are out here having fun.
Oh, hey, Britt.
I can't even go in that water and pretend to even have fun because what's the point? She's not here.
Thank you, Lori. Oh.
You know, I lost a son. I know that whole.
See, that's that's one of the things that made her feel so human and normal to me that I can't enjoy. No, she's not here, so I can't enjoy it anyways. But I want to point something out. So during this interview, she says she's asked why here? Why did they choose here? Which is a question I have for her. I would love to talk to her. I would give her the utmost respect, but I do have legitimate questions because this park was a super nice park with $1 million playground. I've never seen a playground like this with tree houses and little caves and, a whole sand area and a music area. And it's just crazy. It's got like 7 different sections. There's also a swimming area. And she says in this video that's because of COVID, which at the time, that's another thing that made me see her differently because that's a fear. I'm weird about germs. My mom has COPD. My mom has suffered with a lot. We went through hell this last year with her health. And I was so terrified of my kids getting COVID and stuff. So that really hit home for me. But then you got to take a step back and think, wait a minute. Within, a couple weeks prior, you guys were at an amusement park in Tennessee with aquariums. I would call it an amusement park, but like the Wonderworks, the upside down world where everything's upside down. There was tons of photos of them. Grandma was there with them. It's even Donna's mentioned it in some of her readings too. This place, Wonderworks, the upside down place. Then they had talked about going to a water park right after it's supposed to be after June 15th. So why did she say that? Was that just manipulation? Because that's how it starts to feel. And then when you start to feel like you're manipulated, well, then I don't know. It's frustrating.
I know there's a
Let
depth
me
of
stop.
pain that nobody understands until you have been in that hole. Okay? And
I've been in this hole twice now.
help me understand that.
Well, once when my mom called me and said that they couldn't find my little sister Rosie.
Okay.
When she disappeared, and that was heartbreaking.
Morning, Britt. That's okay.
But my daughter, that's twice as worse.
Right.
You might as well just rip my chest out, throw it out
Queen
there for
bee.
the bitch bee, because it's worthless without her.
Oh,
I try to be strong for my boys. I try to have hope. I just,
okay, I gotta pause it for fair use. I want to hear his opinion on that, but let me answer a couple comments really quick. Amanda C, I do too. That's one of my theories, especially since the kid that was with them that day claims that Summer went underwater and had to be rescued and all of that, was underwater for too long. And you start to, what are the chances of something like that happening and her going missing? I mean, the chances of either of those things happening are pretty small. These aren't things that happen to us every day. So the chances of both of those things happening, I don't know. Yes, that playground, you guys, that's on that live stream. We went through it all. And then also that little short members only video. Oh my God, you guys will not believe it when you see the playground. Summer would have loved it. I want to take Bentley there. Like, I want to do another trip and bring Bentley with me and let him stay at the hotel while I go out, but also take him to that playground. It is super scary, Amanda. You are right. My mom has had some serious issues from it too. Like she's about to have another surgery. It's just it's from complications with her COPD. At the water hole, it was like sad, but also nervous, anxious, like energy, but also like like seeing all of this, like after looking at it so many times in the past year, it was surreal, but also heavy. It was just heavy. My granddaughter, I hope she will enjoy it. Oh, awesome. I've been screaming it since. The swimming location makes no sense. Everyone here thinks it's sketchy for sure. Wow. Not wanting the children around people. Lori, me too. I hope she's getting some help. Let's see. That's what I've thought, Amanda. That's one of my theories. I do have another theory that's more dark and because there's certain things that do make you wonder. No, Chucky! Hold on, guys. No, stop it. Stop it. Oh my God. My cat just had the biggest bird in his mouth. And when I screamed, he let go of it and the bird flew away. Oh my God, you guys. Holy. I'm tired of this cat killing all the birds. He's killing cardinals and everything. I love my cat, but I can't take that. I have some darker theories about this case. I've been telling you for a long time you should do a video. I think that I would love to hear those. That would be so interesting. The water isn't usually that dirty looking. Yeah, when I was there, it didn't look like in this like in this video. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I so appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's keep watching for a second. My heart's going a million miles a minute. That bird, he flew off, so he must be okay. Holy cow.
Okay, that's it. That was the moment. She declared herself. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Brittany. He leaves them
And
on
I
the
believe
front
it.
porch and stuff. Do your cats
I
do
believe it.
that?
And by the way, mods, if there's any trolls playing this, you know, block them from the channel. Send them into space. Where she's at, in my opinion, is she knows much more than what she wants to put out there. And I
Sonia.
believe that she's in a catch 22.
I know, Melissa.
She's in a conflict. She believes that, she wants to tell people more, but she's in a conflict in doing.
I still stand where I did there and think it'd be a really fun and a good idea. Plus, like, the conspiracies, and I told you I believe then, though, but there's a lot of people that have a lot of conspiracies about it. When I did their background checks and stuff, I had people coming in here asking for birth certificates could I find birth certificates of the kids and stuff, and to be honest with you, I couldn't. So I don't know.
And that's an interesting position for a mother.
Hey, Dazed.
Whose child's been missing for almost a year now. Because she's been strong enough to maintain the narrative. But here's a reality check on that narrative. Don's probably going to go to prison for a very long time.
Thank you, John. I will. Oh, wow. Statement.
Just on the SA allegations alone.
Oh, okay.
With his sister, visiting him in jail recently, and then going to Utah and giving a statement in relationship to his case. I'm going to save the information because Mary's going to tell everybody, but she basically just poured gas on the fire and sealed his fate.
Oh my God. Wow. That's kind of crazy to hear. I'm not sure he'll ever get out. I'm wondering if Utah's going to pick him up in Tennessee when they release him this year.
And so, Candace, if you're waiting for Don in a couple of months, depends on what Utah's going to do. And it sounds like they're going to do something.
We used to get mice.
Because that case is now at the DA's office. And it's being reviewed. And at some point, there's going to be, depends on what happens in Tennessee in relationship to the boys. And thank goodness Mary stepped up, and Jeannie, and put the information out there that it had happened to them as well.
I'm glad that they did too. As far as the boys go, well, I'm glad they stepped up. I do think it made things a little chaotic for a while on YouTube with those allegations and everything and all the things that followed. Now, as far as the kids go, if Candace isn't in rehab, there is no way she's going to get him back. And that's part of my plea that I made to her in my video. I don't want to be her best friend. I don't want to get her on my channel. I don't think she should be on YouTube at all. I don't even need any information from her. I'd like for her to answer some questions, but the biggest thing that she needs to do is work on her, take care of herself, and try to get better so that she can take care of those boys. Brittany, a lot of people have thought that. I'm curious, do you guys think they might be permanently separated now? Do you think that's good for Summer's case? Have you ever heard him be so forward? No. This is definitely good. I told you needed to listen to this. Melissa Jade, are you still in here? Let me know. My cat does that all the time. Makes me so mad. Oh my gosh. He's killed. Well, I'm worried because there's a lot of poisonous snakes and lizards here. The other day he had an 8-inch red-headed lizard dead out here. We've had moles, cardinals, I don't think any mice, but several moles out of the ground. Some of the stuff is good, but some of it we don't. We want to keep the cardinals. I mean, they say that's like if someone visiting you from heaven. That's so heartbreaking to see your cat kill one of those. A quail. There was a huge quail the other day out here on the sidewalk, right
And
by
then
the
all these
door.
other
Here, Mom, present for you.
women and these survivors came forward and sealed the deal. And so, Sonia, if you're listening tonight, which I hope you are, why don't you do the right thing and call me? And then you can tell Don what you just heard tonight. So I believe Candace is stuck in a circle of violence, not only in her own life, but
Oh,
in
really,
her family
John?
life as a whole, in her childhood, in her marriages.
He's right, and that's heartbreaking. That's part of what makes this But then again, okay, Melissa, I was gonna tell you, message me when you want to go through some of this stuff and start kind of to do some kind of stream together on it, and we can do that. Because I still think it'd be a good idea. I think anybody like who has the kind of like the kind of mindset that you do will look at this in such a different way than I do, because it's hard for me to have that kind of, like, I'm more of the kind of person that sees, like, I don't know, just conspiracies and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, there have been a lot of people who have left comments throughout my videos over time who are looking at it in that way, and like from the I don't want to say like too much, but you know what I mean, like the way that people, the reason they'd be asking me for their birth certificates and things like that. Yes. Oh my gosh. It'll be fun. Let me see. There was another comment I wanted to address really quick. Oh, awesome, Pink Dahlia. 8-headed lizards are scary. Oh, okay. So about them getting back together. Okay, you guys. Dawn goes to jail. Candace had never really been on YouTube before that. I'm thinking that the whole time, I'm thinking she don't want to talk. I was making videos calling her out. Candace, why? Because there was a clip that came forward of them, and Dawn says, I don't remember, like, how should I word this? Hold on. Like, it was, I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to get it wrong, but it was basically she didn't want to talk about Summer, and she said that. No, I don't want to talk about Summer. I can't remember. I don't want to quote her wrong, but it was something very blatant like that. And I remember being so angry. Why don't you want to talk about her? You need to be on here talking about her. And I was thinking it was Candace. Then Dawn goes to jail, and she's all over YouTube. So then that made me think maybe he was like being controlling, and she wanted to speak out and stuff, but he didn't want her to. But then when she starts speaking out, she kind of started speaking out against him. So them coming, it took me a minute to get my thought in order. Them coming like back together after that, I don't know. I don't know if I could see it happening. If you seen the way she was talking about him in Ernie's chat, or even on Benny's, like with the streams with Benny and stuff, but especially when Ernie released those video clips of Dawn talking about what had most likely happened to Summer. Do the right thing and call him and resume life with Dawn. Well, you know what else? For people who are like you, people who are abused, it's like they're, I don't want to say safe spot, but it's like, it's really hard to leave. He was a minor when he did that, so maybe he'll get away with it. I believe he was a minor at first. Just because you discuss conspiracies surrounding the case doesn't, that's true. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And it's interesting. It's never a bad thing to keep your mind open. Um, but I know that because of the attention it's gotten, that's what kind of leads to some of those conspiracies, because people start to wonder if they're being told the truth, basically. And we should wonder that. Yeah, Pink Dahlia um, loves conspiracies. She's very much into that stuff. I love conspiracies. Oh, thank you, Kathy. You find lizards all over the house? How cool. Bye, Brittany. Hope you have a good day. Lori, that she gives me very bad vibes. Did anyone find out that? Yeah, Brittany and Pink have done a couple conspiracy videos together too. I've tried to tell Brittany she should cover some, like, not only this one, the Watts, some conspiracies with true crime. I think that would be so interesting. And there's not a lot of people doing it. You guys need to, Pink Dahlia. Um, and I've even told my sister-in-law, like, about all of you guys, and told her, because she's really into that too. And she's always wanted a YouTube channel. And I'm like, I know so many people that you would love to watch their channel that are into the same stuff you're into. Lori. That shed gives me very bad vibes. Okay, I read that so wrong. Did anyone find out if that back shed was checked or if the dogs went to that area? So no, I don't know more about the back shed. Is such a question mark. And then the shed in general, the brown one, if it actually does have a well in it, I mean, that's super questionable too. Oh, awesome. Pink Dahlia needs to start her channel. Oh, I miss Megan J too, and her ideas. Yeah, that's the only channel that I know, like, that does, like, strictly that stuff that I know. I know there's a lot more because I remember her talking about channels that she loved. But I think the problem is that YouTube tries to silence that stuff. So it makes it tough. Okay.
And I believe drugs and alcohol has played a major role, like everybody else, in why all of her children were taken into protective custody. So she has a conflict, and she's used to manipulating to the point where once the state steps in, they take care of everything, and it kind of goes away for her. But this is a situation that is not going away, because 5-year-old little girls just don't disappear. So
Nope, into
one
thin
of the
air.
things that I've been curious about, and that's why I put the first video out, is what was Don's fixation with that shed?
There you go, Lori, the shed.
I have a note here. When I talked to him on July 28th, I'm reading out of my notebook. Immediately, he said, I believe she's been killed and buried somewhere after being abducted.
Yeah, the very first immediate thing Don says is he hopes he sees her in the resurrection. I mean, like, within days. You would think you want to have hope. I don't know. It's so bizarre the way that he talks. Um, Can I just say though, I wish that YouTube would get back to more talking about, like, stuff like this, even when we have differences. You guys, I see so much good in so many people that and friends of mine that don't like each other and don't get along and stuff like that, but they all have really good qualities, and there's so much time that's spent focusing on not important shit, arguing, and makes everybody miserable. It makes everybody uncomfortable. It's tough. I wish that we could get back to what brought us all here, which was, most of us came because of true crime. And that's because most of us in our hearts, we want more for these victims, and we want more for these missing kids, and we want more for these cases, and we want to know more about this kind of stuff. And I just think there's so much more important stuff that we all came here to do, that you don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to like everybody. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that some of my own friends do on and off YouTube. And it's always been, you can't possibly agree with everyone. But when I don't know, I just wish it could get back to that, because there's so much more important stuff going on.
Now,
and I think most of the people are good people that have done messed up stuff or are arguing, or you know what I mean. I just think that there's more.
When I first heard that on July 28th of 2021, which is less than 4 weeks away from when she was went missing, my experience kicked in and said,
yes, they have.
He knows.
Agreed, Dolly.
He knows something. Now, what we've all been grappling with for the last year is what that something is.
Yep.
But what I have been dealing with is, like you, on this channel anyway, is the facts in relationship to how they were presented. These are Don's words. And you heard him talk about some of the other stuff on the phone calls, but there are many other phone calls that Mary has and that I have that we're just not going to release them. Because they're all given to the authorities for the case, the other case.
So that means the phone call that we heard is like the least interesting for the case, basically. That's really crazy, because some of that, Don says the most bizarre stuff on the things we've heard. I can't imagine what we haven't heard.
That day to say, the first place, which got me thinking, okay.
Up by the house.
The first place, when I asked him, I said, well, where did you go? He said, well, first of all, it took me about 40 minutes to get home.
Thank you, Jules.
And I'm reading from my notes. And I got there before the police. Well, I knew that wasn't true. That's not rocket science. Because when you have a missing 5-year-old and you call 911, and by the way, she's still 5 years old at this point in relationship to when she disappeared. She's not 6 yet. She won't be 6 until she either A, comes home, or B, is, found.
Oh, God.
But at this point, she's still 5 years old when she disappears and vanishes off of 110 Ben Hill Road. But her father says immediately that he raced home. It took him about 40 minutes to get home. And when he got there, he beat the police. Well, what he was unaware of, I had talked to the authorities. And they told me that they were there before him. Now, from there, I knew immediately what I was dealing with personally.
What's that?
I knew then I had to figure out in my own mind what's motivating him to be deceptive in relationship to his child. If he's lying about the simple things, i.e. beating the police to the scene, then what's the next significant event?
See, for me, I've always kind of thought these people are lying. We know they're lying because they told multiple stories. So one of them has to be a lie, right? But then why are they lying? Because they may be lying because they're on drugs and they don't want anyone to know that instead of watching their kid, they was doing drugs, or, they like Dawn stop at the shed first. It could be something with Summer, or it could be he had drugs hidden down there, and he didn't want to leave them there, obviously, while they're searching for Summer. Then he's going to get busted. So the way I've always looked at it is, yeah, they're lying, but for what? Because there's so many people lying, and it's not only mom and dad who look suspicious as hell, which makes it like that's what could create a lot of conspiracy too, especially when you think about if it was some sort of bigger, like a lot of people involved, part of some kind of trafficking or something like that. How far up does it go? The local law enforcement. I mean, I don't know. There's just so many possibilities, and so many lies.
In his
I think we're going to quit here in a second, you guys. Let's see.
And at that point, the next significant event was I went to the shed.
Lori, me neither. I never picked up on that.
Down at the bottom of the property. So remember, I've been saying from day one, I have not left the property. Not only did the victim risk continuum test that, high, medium, low, and you guys know it now, environment, situation, circumstance by now.
We may finish this later. It's been a while, and I wanted to do some stuff with the kids before my interview with Parker. So Grandma Candace was interviewed. There's a couple things. One, she was in direct communication with a YouTuber that she did not know was a YouTuber, and she did say quite a lot. I did a video. You can find a video on here on my channel that's like 10 minutes long. I took all the screenshots from that and put it in like a short video. Then she did an interview with the news, and that was recently. She also inserted a nap that she took that day, and some interesting things in that interview. It was like she was trying to create distance, and there is a transcript under the video, like under the YouTube description. I don't remember if he got pulled over. I remember him saying that he sped really fast. I think there are some facts in those lies. I do too. Still say Candace knows. I do too. I think she does too, but I don't want to say that 100% because I don't know. There's other choices. So Parker Desired is a new channel. It's a girl who just started a new channel maybe within the last couple months or last few weeks, and she's been covering the Uvalde shooting, but also lots of other cases too. So it'll just be like, I used to do the creator interviews all the time. I want to get back to it because I wanted to ask actually Brittany if she wanted to do one, and a couple other people too. But so I'll just have the creator on and kind of ask them some personal, not too personal of questions, but more about them, who they are, what brought them to YouTube, what they've learned from being on YouTube, what's been like the best and the worst parts of their YouTube experience. And then we get into some of the cases that we both have covered, and just like opinions and taking questions from the chat and just kind of talking about that. So that was a series I started a long time ago, and I really want to get back to doing. I also want to interview Mr. Dobbs. I'm just having a hard time connecting there. Often do that shit. I don't want to admit that because those kids should never be. That's possible. And I've thought that there's other reasons they would lie besides their involvement. Maybe they don't want people to know they weren't taking the best care of those kids. they ever say if she, okay, so they didn't say about when she got there, but we do know that she was used to drinking every day around 4 or 5 o'clock. She would drink the same time every day. It was a routine, and she would pass out pretty early too, which would lead to Summer sleeping with her dad downstairs, which people have had questions about. But the one thing we do know that has came out is that when they went to do the lie detector test, they both had, I believe they both had cocaine in their system. Candace had marijuana. Now there's, oh, where did they, I know they've mentioned that, the drug test, but there's also other people who have said, there's also other things that are not verified, but rumors that go along with their drug use and stuff like that. Like a YouTuber who had went down there to stay, that said that when he was there, Don would disappear for a week at a time and just be out spending, like in December, spending his all of their money on dope instead of buying Christmas presents for the kids. Link to tonight's interview. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, Desired. There's the link, and it'll be tonight on here. Just make sure you have your reminder set, and you should get it. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I so appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, they both had cocaine in their system. That's the way I understand it. Awesome, Pink. Thank you so much, so much. I don't understand how they passed their lie detector test unless it was from doing the drugs that kept them calm. And maybe they didn't pass. They're allowed to lie about that stuff. So it's possible they didn't pass. But I know that when I was in the drug world, there were a lot of people that knew that Xanaxes, if you needed to take a lie detector test, Xanax was the way that you do that and you pass. It keeps you calm. And so I don't know. But anyways, I love you guys so much. And yeah, we do still have the black and white dog. But yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you tonight for that interview. And I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.